Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamie, and on this channel we talk about all things luxury handbags, neutrals, and elevated style. You can also find me over on Instagram where I'm styling my brown and beige handbags. Now in today's video, I have an exciting bag comparison video between the Bottega Veneta Jodie in the small size versus the teen size. This is a highly requested bag comparison video. We are going to break down the features, sizes, colors, wear and tear, pros and cons, and ultimately, what do I recommend? Everything will be noted in the chapter notes below. Guys, let's get right into it. Purchased this Bottega Veneta Jodie bag in the small size back in 2022. Now that's over 2 years ago, and this was my very first Bottega Veneta handbag in my collection. Now the Jodie in the teen size, this one you guys saw me unbox it. I will leave it linked in the notes below. And this handbag, I will tell you, has been one of my go-to handbags in my collection. Just want to give you guys that in terms of the full transparency when we do this comparison. Features. I'm going to read you guys some of the dimensions from the website. Now this is the small size. It's got 18.9 inches in height. The width is 15.7 and the depth is 16.3. And the handle drop is 11.8. Now on the teen size, we have a height of 8.3 inches and the width is 14.2 with a depth of 5.1. And the handle drop is 7.1. There is a huge difference between the way it fits and lays on your shoulder, that drop there, versus on the teen size. That's something that I think is a big point of difference between these two handbags, and one of the reasons why I even wanted to get this small size first versus the teen. It's more of your preference, but definitely if you are looking for more of that strap drop and that's important to you, that is something I think you need to pay attention to when it comes to the dimensions. This is a classic shoulder hobo bag, and I would certainly say this is a understated style or quiet luxury. There's no branding logos on this handbags. Even my row handbags, you'll find even the branding at a small, the row on the bottom. And this bag also features this beautiful zipper, and it's a pretty smooth zipper. And this bag also features the distinct knot. Older bags from Bottega, you'll see this similar hobo bag design but without the knot. But I'm loving the knot. I don't know about you, but that's also why I keep buying these Jodies. I just obsessed with the look of this. I think it just adds a very interesting design feature. So you either love or hate the knot. I love it, obviously. But also another thing that's interesting is the small size has a pocket on the inside. You'll see that pocket there. This teen size, there's no pocket. And granted, it's smaller, but for whatever reason, this handbag, it does not feature a zipper pocket like the small size. So I think that's one important distinct feature. On the inside, it is leather lined. It's not cloth, it's not a material, it is leather lined. This is calf skin on the inside, so it's really nice. And I'll get into it in a minute when it comes to this leather, but I will say that's woven. It's beautiful leather from Bottega Veneta. Now these Bottega handbags, they are both made out of the lambskin leather. You hear about the buttery leather from Bottega Veneta, and this leather, it's lambskin. It feels so luxe, so buttery to the hand. One of the things that I think is so beautiful about Bottega, it's that quality, the craftsmanship. I will tell you, out of all of my handbags that I have, including Chanel, I have a little bit of Hermes, I will tell you that even the rope, all of those beautiful brands, I think Bottega has the best lambskin. I'm a little bit biased, obviously, but I will tell you, when you feel the Jodie handbag and you feel Bottega, you can definitely feel the difference. I want to touch on color. Now, Bottega Veneta has so many different colors in the Jodie bag, and I feel like they keep adding more and more colors. If you're a brown and beige lover, you will love this. Is the caramel color that you can still find on the website, and this is the fondant color. I'm kind of obsessed with these bags and in these neutral shades. These are probably my favorite two shades from Bottega Veneta, hence why I purchased them. But I will tell you that I think that if I was ever to add more colors from Bottega, it's probably going to be more of the creamy whites, off-whites, perhaps even a burgundy. I think that would look lovely in my collection. And of course, I'm always open to other shades of brown, but these are my top two. I think the fondant is really hard to find, and that's the other thing about when I was looking for the teen size. It was so hard to find this one in the fondant. They just like never had it in stock on the website. I finally had to hunt my SA Brandon down to see if he could find it, and thankfully he did, but they didn't initially have it in fondant. It wasn't until this year they brought the fondant in also, I should add. In some ways, this bag, because it's this beautiful, like chocolatey, kind of dark, it can almost pass black. And for me in my collection, you guys know I'm all about brown and beige handbags. It's great because this particular colorway, I can almost lean and treat it like a black handbag. So keep that in mind. And again, whether or not I add a black handbag, this neutral lover, but for me, I'm really happy having it. And I think that's also part of the reason why I gravitate to this one so much, because it's acting like a black handbag in my collection with this colorway. It's just a beautiful, beautiful dark brown sizes. The Jodie comes in a couple different sizes. There's the candy, which is the smallest size this bag comes in. Then there's the mini size, a teen, a small, and a medium. Of course, I love the small size. I think this is like your perfect everyday type of handbag because the size and the small size, which is interesting because you would think from the small, by the name of it, it might actually be more smaller, whether it's like the teen size or the mini size. But the small size is like your everyday bag. And then they have the teen size here. And this is more, I would say, great size for like going out. You can still use it for every day, but you definitely obviously can fit more in the small size. There's also sizes like the mini size. The mini is super cute. I've heard, touched this bag so many times. I still think about the mini size. It's just super mini. And the biggest thing I hear about that, it's really difficult to get into now and then, but you know, I love handbags and I love the Jodie, so don't be surprised if you ever see a mini Jodie in this collection. But for now, we're holding off on the mini. There's also a bigger size, and I just can't imagine, because this bag I feel is plenty big, and I am 5'2", pretty petite in size, and I feel like I don't want to go any bigger than this bag in the small size. But again, they do have a bigger size. Let's talk about what fits. Now, the biggest question I get when it comes to the Jodie in the small size is, can it fit a laptop? I'll just show you really quick. This is my MacBook Air, and it's 13 inches. It certainly can fit in this MacBook. And obviously, if it fits in this, I wouldn't put it in your teen size because it's not going to fit. And also, I would say I wouldn't recommend putting in a laptop into your bag, as it will misshapen your bag over time. Otherwise, you can certainly fit a water bottle, wallet, sunglasses. The teen size is more compact in space, but I think it's still the perfect bag if you were to go out or grab and go type of handbag. And obviously, again, you're gonna be able to fit a lot more in that small size than in the teen size. The other key question I get is, can you fit an iPad mini? So let me show you that. Can you fit this in the teen size? Yes, you certainly can. And obviously, you can fit it in the teen, you can fit it in the small size. Prices. When it comes to these handbags, I think these are pretty pricey handbags. The teen size here, this handbag here, it's priced at $3,500. The small size, this one is $4,100. Availability. These were purchased from Bottega Veneta. And in fact, this one was recently sourced from Brandon, my Bottega essay, and I'm loving my Bottega, so thank you, Brandon. But you can also find these handbags over in department stores like Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom. The great thing when you go with the Bottega Veneta store and you get that essay experience, if you can, you get the great luxury experience, and certainly the colors, the selection, there's so much more than, say, perhaps a department store. They might have a limited color selection, so just be aware of that. I want to highlight ways to wear this handbag. Now this handbag, I really love wearing this small size on my shoulder. And this is where you're gonna see the shoulder drape really come to effect. The other way I'll wear this is the crook of the arm. But shoulder bag here, see that shoulder drape here? Even when I'm sitting, and I'll stand up here so you can see, just a very casual, cool, it's comfortable, it looks chic, right? The teen size, when I wear this as a shoulder bag, can use certainly, but it's much more snug on my shoulder. So you can certainly do this. I just prefer to have this in the crook of my arm, like this. This is how I typically, or hold it, the teen size. This bag, again, looks chic, crook of my arm, and you can hold it. But I would say, if you prefer to wear this as a shoulder bag, between the two, I would go with the small size. I think it looks better on the shoulder with that drape, that shoulder drop here. I just like the way it looks here, and it feels comfortable. But if I was to pick what bag I prefer in the crook of my arm, I'm gonna go with my teen Jodie. I love the way it looks, crook of my arm. It's an easy light grab, or if I'm holding it, this will be my go-to bag for this. So I hope that kind of answers the questions when it comes to ways of wearing this handbag. But depending on what I'm doing, I'm typically grabbing this for my everyday errands, everyday bag, and then this one is more like my going out type of bag. Wear and tear. Now this Jodie bag I've only had for a limited time, so this still looks brand spanking new, but this bag I've had since 2022, so I'm gonna just go over more of the wear and tear that you can see. It's definitely has relaxed over time, and you can just see this even more. And even I would say that the hand, the way that this feels much more like relaxed in my hand versus my teen size. You can see that it's still pretty, even though compact, but it hasn't relaxed as much. It just feels, I think that over time it will get there and get more of that, even more of that slouch, but you can even feel this leather too. It just feels a lot more worn in, if that makes sense. You can see some of the relaxing here that's happened over time. In this, I would say, whether you stuff your bag or you have a base shaper to help, but you can just see how some of that lambskin over time, you can get some of those marks. And it's the wrinkling, I would say, is another con to the bag. It's the relaxation that happens, the wear and tear on the individual lambskin pieces here. You can see that wrinkling happening over time. I think that just comes with natural use of this handbag. The other piece is this zipper, because the zipper, it's a pretty strong zipper, and I will try to see if I can get up close. You can see some of the wear and tear. If you kind of nick close to the zipper, it can give some wear and tear. So I experienced some of that here on it too over time. And again, it's just, you know, I use my handbags and it's lambskin, so it can happen, and unfortunately that's just part of it. And even though I like to think I'm pretty careful with my handbags, having this over 2 years, I still think it looks pretty good. It has some wear by the creasing and some of the lambskin wear, but overall I think it looks pretty good. I think it's got a beautiful sheen to the leather still, and this bag versus a brand new bag looks really good. Pros and cons. Let's start with pros. I think the small size is the perfect hobo bag. I just think this drape at the shoulder drop here, it doesn't get any better than this. I love the way that it looks on this size. It's pure perfection to me. Also, I love the colors. I think that this caramel color looks so good. It's like the perfect kind of summer handbag to me. I do love this knot. I think it's interesting. Also will say the buttery, soft leather that Bottega has, there's nothing like it, and I certainly think it's one of the best lambskins out there. I love a more understated design. You know, a lot of my handbags are this type of vibe, quiet luxury, if you will. There's also, I'm gonna call it the certificate of craft. I wanted to bring it up. This is a repair service and you'll get the gold card, but this is all about, it's a complimentary care service benefiting for repair services. And they issue it with this gold card. I have yet to use it, but you know what? It's been over 2 years and I will definitely be checking that out because to me, I think that would be interesting what exactly they cover. So in theory, you would think that they probably cover some of the creasing, all that, but we will see, and I'll certainly give an update. But that's a nice compliment to get that as part of the handbags. I believe you only get it on certain handbags. Jodie is one of them, but I don't think it's on every handbag. I could be wrong, but from what I gather, it's a lot of their like more classic styles. Now, another pro when it comes to the Jodie in the small size, I wanted to answer this question is, does the strap fall off your shoulder? For me, it doesn't. I actually find that with the width of this strap, the leather, it's pretty stable. And I've never experienced the strap slipping off. Now, others may say something different. Just my experience, I haven't had that. And really don't wear this bag on my shoulder. So, but I'm gonna say because it's more snug, it probably doesn't. Now, when it comes to the cons of this handbag, I will say the wear and tear. This lambskin, it's lambskin, so you're gonna get some of the creasing that I showed on here along the zipper, wear and tear, and you can even see, again, some of the more the leather pieces of the lambskin, when you go up close, you can see some of the finish. It looks a little bit, you can see the leather bits coming out there too. The other pieces, we got to talk about the price. These things are like crazy expensive, and I'll put the latest retail price, but we're talking over $5,000 now for a handbag. And these bags from Bottega, they're certainly not, I would say, not affordable in the least. So that's certainly something to consider. The good piece on when it comes to pre-sale though, I would suggest perhaps looking at a pre-sale for fashion file, because on pre-sale, Bottega is typically, you can have some savings there. Now, another con is the amount of dupes with this handbag. I will say that when I've looked at these bags from Anthropologie and some on Etsy, that I can tell the difference, but it is something to be aware of. Now, the dupes they have out there, they're not going to be in every colorway that Bottega has. And certainly I think that when you look up close, when you feel the handbag and you look at some of the details like the zipper and these things, that those are going to be the points of difference too in terms of the craftsmanship to keep in mind. But certainly a con is to be aware of. Now, the pros when it comes to this Jodie bag in the teen size, I would say it's such a perfect like date night type handbag. Date night or just grab and go. You can certainly fit all the key essentials in this handbag. I think the pros are also similar when it comes to more of this understated style and this type of handbag. If you're looking for something almost like an in-between, like you want something compact, it's a little bit not as big when it comes to the sizing of it, like a more in-between, that hobo, but it has, I would say it has a little bit more almost structure because it's more compact, then this might be a better fit for you. Now, the cons are you're not going to have as much space to fit your things in here like you would with the small size, but again, I think that's kind of obvious. And for some, I think this might be the perfect bag, and especially if you don't have a lot of things, this teen size will be amazing. Another con is this bag is still pricey even at the teen size, and I'll put that price as well. I will say even the dupes, I see the dupes mostly for the mini and the small size. I think it's a little bit better when it comes to dupes with the teen. One more con when it comes to the teen size, it's the slouch. You just don't get as much of a slouch as you do with this small size. You can see there's a lot more material, has a great drape. You still get the slouch, but it's just not as deep and prominent. Hey guys, I wanted to give you a quick update on the certificate of craft. I reached out to my essay and he told me it's a lifetime warranty of defects. That's great news, and I'm actually going to send my bag in. He said, bring it in, we'll take a look, we'll replace a zipper, and they can fix the leather on the inside, that wear and tear that I showed you guys earlier, but this is great. I'll probably make a new video on it just to give you the lowdown of how this experience went. But he tells me it's just like the Hermes spa when it comes to fixing, repairing your handbag. So I will keep you posted. Now, do I recommend the Jodie handbag? And which one do I prefer? I will tell you that I definitely recommend it. Like, I have 2 of them, and sometimes I think about getting the mini, but for now I'm happy with my 2 Jodie bags. But if I had to pick between these 2, what would I pick? You know, I would probably say the small size. This to me is like a perfect everyday type of handbag. I love the fact that I can easily just throw it on my shoulder and go, and it serves that great purpose. If I'm gonna go for more of a crook in the arm or hold in my hand type of bag, it's not gonna be the Jodie bag, even the teen size, even though that's the way I wear it. But I would say probably in hindsight, if I was to only have like one Jodie bag, I would probably just get this one, probably do the colors in reverse, get the small size, do it in the fondant, because to me, that's almost like I get away with that as being like my black handbag. So it would be like my black everyday handbag, if that makes sense. Now that I have the 2, it's kind of like I get the best of both worlds. So I would say overall, pretty happy here. I hope that answered your guys' questions. If you have anything else, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. And be sure to like and subscribe. I'll have more bag reviews coming up on this channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next video. Take care.